Are you tired of depending on the Arduino Corporation to blink your LEDs? Do you have a Game Boy lying around and a bunch of wire? Then have I got a solution for you to this problem I just made up. I used a Game Boy to control an LED. Let's see how. In the past, I connected a button and a crank to my Game Boy with this breadboard game cartridge I made. Those were sending data from the real world into the Game Boy to control something happening on the Game Boy. Now I want to do the opposite. I want stuff happening on the Game Boy to control something happening in the real world. Specifically, an LED. I want the LED to turn on when the A button is pressed, and turn off when the B button is pressed. The Game Boy has a memory-mapped architecture. All the different parts of the Game Boy's hardware are mapped to different memory addresses. The LED is going to work the same way. I made it so the LED is accessed through any save RAM address. If you write a 1 to a save RAM address, it'll send a high, or a 5-volt signal on D0 to the data bus. I can hook the LED right up to D0 and it should turn on whenever D0 has a 5-volt signal. Let's see what happens. Write in the comments what you think it'll do. Okay, that didn't work. I didn't expect it to though. In fact, I'd have been very confused if it had worked. I kinda hoped the LED would light up a little bit, but I'm not surprised that it didn't. The Game Boy is sending the 5-volt signal when the A button is pressed, but only while this line of code is being executed. In fact, I think it's only sending the signal for 500 nanoseconds. And the code is executed at most 60 times per second. So it's not sending the signal for very much time. That's where this comes in. It's an octal D-latch. It can remember 8 bits of data. I only need 1 right now, though. The D-latch has some inputs and corresponding outputs. When this pin, the LE pin, has a high signal, the latch will store whatever signals are coming in on the inputs and send them out on the outputs. If the input is high, then the output is high. If the input is low, then the output is low. When the LE pin has a low value, then it ignores the inputs and keeps sending the stored signal out to the output. So, I'll hook up one of the inputs to D0 and the corresponding output to the LED. I'll wire the rest of the inputs to ground. That's good practice if you have some inputs that aren't being used. Now I need a way of controlling the LE pin. I need a 5-volt signal when the Game Boy is writing to save RAM. Good thing the Game Boy gives us signals to know when that's happening. When the Game Boy reads or writes to save RAM, then the CS, or chip select, and address pin A14 in the cartridge both go low. So when both are low, we know that the save RAM is being accessed. The cartridge also has a WR pin that goes low when the Game Boy is trying to write data to the cartridge. So if those 3 pins all have a low signal, then we know that the latch chip should save the data. We need to turn those 3 low signals into a single high signal. That can be done with an OR. I already have A14 and CS hooked up to an OR chip. I can just NOR the output of that with the WR and connect the output to the LE pin on the latch. Alright, let's see if that works. It's not. I expected that to work. Why doesn't it work? Let me make sure all the connections are good. Oh, looks like I made a mistake when disconnecting the crank. I was supposed to connect the output enable to 5 volts to disable it, but I connected it to 0 volts, so it was always outputting the crank value. I'll just fix that. Now let's see if it works. Nice, it's working. I was worried there for a moment. You could also hook all the data pins to the latch to control more things. Just imagine all the things you can control with your Game Boy. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to control with a Game Boy. Well, that's all I have for now. If you want to see more about these silly Game Boy cartridges I've been playing around with, you can check out this playlist here. If you've enjoyed what you've been watching, please like and subscribe. And if you want to help me make more videos, there's a link to my Ko-fi in the description. Thanks, bye!